Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. We are live on YouTube and Patreon. Well, unlisted on YouTube. We're live on Patreon. I am just here in the studio. This is the first video that I'm doing for the next level. How I changed it to next level artists, next level art. Anyway, so I just thought I would come on here, share with you what I'm doing, share with you a few things that I've been thinking of, like things that I know for sure as an artist, things that I'm absolutely positive about. I've just been thinking about that. And one of the things, I'm going to get down and start painting, but one of the things that I'm positive about as an artist, it is absolutely imperative to me that we just always try new things. I think that some artists, as artists, we can get into a niche or what have you, but even if you find your niche that's like a super successful niche, if you're not trying new things, you're not growing as an artist, right? So that's just one thing I know. So I ordered these. They're called Crink, and they're paint markers that a lot of graffiti artists use. My friend Ivana B uses these. And so this is something that I'm going to kind of play with here in a little bit, probably on this piece. But I'm going to get started. There's two of you here. Hi, whoever's here. I'm not quite sure if you can say hi or how this is working, but go ahead. I'm going to just kind of narrate through what I'm doing. So this peacock, here's one other thing that I know as an artist. Layers, layers, layers. Layers are so important. Unless you're doing, very, very simplified art and you're looking for that look, adding layers adds so much interest and depth to anything. And so, if in doubt, add more layers. This is only the third layer of probably about 10 layers. So what you see as the feathers, that's not what they're going to look like at all, because we're going to do all sorts of things over them and with them. So, yeah. Chat some. Okay. All right. So I believe you guys can chat here. I'm going to get down and start painting. Okay. So what I'm going to be working on is her body, and that is going to be covered in 3 colors of pink. So let's see how this video looks. If I'm down here, I want you to be able to see. So I'm going to do this pink, and this will be the bottom layers of her feathers. They will be covered with a pale, pale, pale white pink, right? So right now, it'll be these. So I just want to make sure that they're ready to go. And you see, like, this dark area is going to be this dark magenta, but I'm going to do that last because I don't want the colors to mix. And I'll probably just use this as my paint palette. The top here. Let me bring you down closer. So let's see here. Light's gonna go off. That's probably gonna be okay because this is a YouTube video and the lighting's pretty good with YouTube videos. All right, we'll come down here like that. That's even better. All right, so here we are. Another thing I know as an artist is it's just so important to be comfortable, right? To be comfortable when you're making art. Let's go this way. So I'm just going to start dabbing on here. And I'm going to go right over these feathers because, like I said, these are layers. Tools are important. Okay, so that is a filbert brush. I love filbert brushes. They can give you a nice little round look. She will have several layers of feathers, but we got to go right over these feathers that are coming out from behind her body. This painting I'm doing, it was on, and this is another thing, your layers don't always have to be planned. This painting was on a, I painted over an abstract painting that never really worked for me. So never ever, I guess that's another thing I know as an artist, never ever 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 throw out a canvas. They're valuable, right? So valuable. Just gonna kind of get these on. This always happens. I'll start off really slow and then I'm like, nope, fast is better. Fast is better. We don't want this to look completely contrived. I just want it to look fun, right? I don't want it to look like I'm trying to actually make it look like a actual real flamingo. I want it to be fun and whimsical. So I do know if you're watching this on Patreon, you need to click through to go on to YouTube to be able to use a comment, to be able to make a comment. So I started a series of zoomorphia and we're gonna do it in the group on a smaller scale. This is a large scale. So in the Artists in the Making group, we're gonna do some zoomorphia. And what zoomorphia is it's animals that take on human-like characteristics. So for instance, you know, the dog dressed up in a sailor outfit, but I'm doing kind of what I would call flamboyant zoomorphia, right? So it's these animals that take on kind of some crazy human characteristics, very flamboyant. And my intention was to have a series and to drop the series, but I've made 3. This will be my 4th. They have all 4 sold, including one that was 30 by 40. And that's something that I'm starting to realize because my bird nerds sell, right? And I go, well, art that touches the soul sells, right? We know that. Art that touches you, you're going to think, oh my gosh, but whatever emotion. And what I'm finding for myself is that I'm selling art, most of the art that I sell on a regular basis, of course, there's, you know, art that gets sold, but a lot of the art that gets sold on a regular basis very often makes people laugh. So that's something that I'm learning, right? It like I'm doing a good job selling art that makes people laugh. And this is something that I would have never even have thought of, right? Like I wouldn't have thought that, like, oh, I have to make art. So I'm leaving this because that's gonna go the dark color. And now I'm gonna go in with some of this bright up here. So I'm going from light to dark on my brush so I don't have to change my brush. So yeah, I mean, that's been like a super fun thing to realize, like, oh my gosh, like I'm having all this success selling art that makes people laugh. Not necessarily having all the success selling art, but my art that makes people laugh is what's selling the most, you know? Okay, I'm gonna have these feathers go in this direction. And then we'll lighten up, really light up here, and then I'll put some fluorescent pink in. So let's just blend some of this together here. Okay, and then let's go with the dark right here. And then I'll put some of the light pink here and some white and some bright fluorescent in there. And of course that's just a layer, because then we're gonna top it off with pale pink and white. Oh yeah, I like that dark in there because it's a shadow right underneath. This is a shadow right underneath him. and then going back to some of this. And let me get some dark along the edges here. It's looking good, looking good. Okay, now I'm going to go in, I'm going to find some white. Let me get some white, and then I'm going to get the bright, light, bright fluorescent pink. So here white, here's titanium white, and a bright fluorescent pink. All right, so let's just get some white on the brush. And we'll go in here with white. Maybe like kind of almost littler feathers. I think that's how it's supposed to go, shading wise. She's looking so pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. All right, so now let's go back to getting her head covered. I have a little bit of pink and white on my brush right now, and it's just making for a real pretty variation too in the feathers. So that's kind of nice up here on her head. And then I'll go white around the edges. So I kind of marked off with paint, like kind of the idea of what I wanted. You know, I painted in kind of like the colors of what I wanted on here. So she's gonna get all sorts of splats and fun added to her, like all sorts of layers, maybe some words of choice that I want to put forth out there in the universe will be added onto this canvas. Oh, soy, I like her. When I am painting animals, I do talk to them. I am a very, very much an animal lover. And they come alive for me and it makes me happy. So just moving my brush in different directions, giving me much smaller like feather strokes up here, and it's giving me a cool look. And I'm going to give her some cute white feathers here around her eye. See that around her eye? Ooh, cool. The eye's not done. I will spend a lot of time on her eye. I think I'm going to give her some of those fun white feathers right here too. She's got a little feather crown up there, so that's super fun. So now that I got this all covered, it's still wet, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to blend some of those pink and white feathers and just add some more pink and white together. I like that. Sometimes in order to, instead of stepping back to see what it looks like, I can just look at the painting and I'm like, okay, I like it, but it needs to be a little bit less white, so let's just pink right over those. See how fast? I mean, when you start going fast, it's going to look more fun. Mix some pink and white together. Ooh, that was big. She's looking pretty fancy. She's looking pretty fancy. Okay, I'm going to go back in with some dark up here, more layers of the dark, and then hit that with some fluorescent, with the really bright fluorescent. Just layer it up so it also has a lot of layers. And then get that. Where's my fluorescent? Oh, here it is. I never even touched the fluorescent yet. Let's get it. Let's get it. Get it good. And let's put some fluorescent up here. I love it. Very nice, very nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna let that dry, and I will be working on this area. So she's gonna have some colors in her bill, but I'm gonna wait on that. I feel like I want to get some. I want to try these pens and see if I can get them to drip down the canvas for this next layer. So let's just go ahead and try these Crink. They're called Crink, and they are markers. They're alcohol-based ink, which is fun. It's permanent. It's light, fast, so that means it won't fade. But they're very expensive. I only got a small package because they're so expensive. I have this color, which I think would be really, really pretty on here. I have white. I can see some white dripping down. I have yellow, which we don't have any yellow on this canvas. I want to see how it shows up on the canvas. So let's see. They've got little shakers in them, and the top of it is like remember those dot pens? They're just like those dot pens. Okay, so they paint really nice. Alright, so I'm just going to get some yellow in here. I don't want to put yellow over the blue. I'm just adding some yellow in here, whatever. I might put some yellow on her bill. But I do want to, I know they drip really well, so let's see how this is going to show up on this blue. Well, it would probably be cool. Okay, so I know I can squeeze them and make them drip, so let's see what happens here. You see on this side? Yeah. Let's start here, and I'll squeeze. There we go. Oh, that's cool. All right, see that happening? So cool. And I'll go all the way across to the other side. I'll bring you close up so you can see it this next time. We'll go all the way here. Okay, I'm gonna bring it all the way up here, and I'm gonna drip it just right. I'm not gonna drip it over her head. I don't want to drip into her head, but I will paint it there. Okay, so let's watch this. I'll do a little drip so it won't drip into her, and then I'll squeeze it heavy right here. Here's where I'm gonna squeeze it. Look at that, you guys. Let's get a little bit more dripping. Come on. There we go. Oh, that's fine. Okay, it's gonna drip into her head. I don't want that. Stop, 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 stop. I want it to stop right there. We'll just leave that there. Okay, I'll watch that and make sure it doesn't drip into her head now. Okay, that's super fun. That made me happy. Cool, right? All right. Okay, that's it for this session. I tend to do these really quick, really slow, and go like, okay, now what's next? I think I'm going to actually doodle in a lot of these leaves, but I'm going to add some color to her beak. I'm going to white that out and start over with this part of it. And then she's, of course, has little nostrils right here. And then we're gonna splat all over this. I'm gonna add some fun words, but I'll come on again because this is something that is gonna be ongoing for another week or so till I leave. I'm hoping to finish it before I go to the Daydream camp. Okay? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Mwah. Love you all. Bye.